Okay, let's cut to the truth. You, yes, you are your biggest blocker, not the market, not your manager, not your schedule. If you're a high achieving man who's always been able to push through, but lately you feel stuck, exhausted, maybe even numb, this is for you. How do I know? Because I've been there. Burnout isn't just tiredness, it's your body's like ultimate red flag. But if you keep ignoring it, it turns into full-blown paralysis, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Welcome to the Wealth Rebel Show. I am your host, Emma Wright, award-winning wealth empowerment coach and therapist. And before we dive into today's talk on this really important subject, I just want to remind you to like, subscribe, follow the show. It means the absolute world to me, and it helps others people to find the messages that I share and also to shine the spotlight on all the amazing founders that I interview on the show as well. So let's dive in. You know what happens in danger, right? Your nervous system kicks in. You've probably heard of fight, flight, and freeze, the trauma response. It is primal at the very core. It's useful when you're in the jungle, right? But not if you're trying to lead a business, make strategic decisions, or show up for your family, even, right? What most people don't realize is fight, flight, and freeze doesn't always look super dramatic. Sometimes it looks like procrastination. Procrastination, I believe, is fight, flight, and freeze in kind of like a trauma response. Like, yeah, I feel like it's the way that we have like labeled something that we've come to accept that's normal that really isn't and shouldn't be accepted as normal. Just like anxiety is not something we should have to live with. It's over controlling, it's overtraining, or completely running out of like completely running out of energy and then falling completely into numbing out. Like, have you ever had that feeling where you're just totally numb, like you're walking around your place and you're like walking in circles, you don't really know what you went into the room for, or you've had a whole day planned and you just can't get going. You don't even know what is happening. I know. I feel you, okay? You're training yourself to push through. We've trained ourselves for lifetimes to just push through, just to carry on. But now, survival mode is not an option. It is your baseline. It's not your fault. Let's relieve of any judgment. But it is you who is silently burning yourself out. Now, that gives you the power to do something about it. As scary as it is you that holds all the keys. But fundamentally, the first thing that you have to realize if you are in a situation of like hopelessness and burnout, is that you have the power, but it's accepting that. Sometimes we just have to sit with that for a moment. I know this because I've really lived it. Okay. On paper, everything was working for me. Everything was working. But I was in like a constant state of high functioning shutdown. High functioning, everyone thought everything's fine, but completely and utterly, my body, everything was shutting down. I was succeeding, but I was suffering in silence, right? I was trying to share it, but I wasn't being heard in my circles. And that can be a really common factor of it, which is why I love to create the spaces that I do. So people can come in and share with me in a really safe environment what's going on for them. For me, it took my body to make the ultimate decision for me. Everything stopped. Last year in 2024, the hardest year of my life, everything stopped. Energy was gone, clarity was gone. My brain, I was like, my brain, what is even happening to me? The things that I could do, I couldn't do. And what made it worse, because I am like, anyone that knows me will say I'm like a cup half full of energy. I bring the energy, I'm fun. My joy was gone. I could walk into a room full of my favorite people, and I was just like, I'd forgotten why I was even in the room anymore. I just didn't feel the same pleasure of life, like, the kind of spring in my step that I had. Last year was a massive, massive awakening for me. And that's when I had to learn a new way. I had to learn a new way. I was never going to give up on myself, or at least using the inspiration of others. I couldn't give up for my children, for those that needed me, for my friends and family, even in that moment, if I couldn't feel the energy to pull it in for me. Not, this is not just mindset. This is full mind, body, soul restoration that had to take place. And that's where the star code came into this new lease of life. Because the star code is what I used to tap into what the flip was going on for me. And it helped me from my own life experience feed what I've been coaching for years into myself to rebirth something even more incredible for those that continue and now will work with me going forwards. Because here's the truth, okay? And I shared this last week in my Lunch and Learn. What I teach in the Star Wealth Training Academy is how to live your best life through this sort of thing, kind of restoring yourself through burnout, right? High performance athletes are often so used to pressure, right? When I was a trader, I was on pressure. It was like pressure was the way of life. You put pressure on yourself and you just get on with it. The pressure is the thing that makes you do it, right? But we confuse pressure with purpose. Pressure with purpose. They are not the same thing. Okay? Pressure can be good. Having pressure is a great thing to have in moderation, but purpose is where the magic is. Purpose is where you find the ultimate pleasure. If you are driven by purpose, you're not going to lose your joy. You're not going to go into burnout. It's going to be completely the opposite. So you've trained yourself to win under stress, okay? Been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, right? Okay. But now that same pattern is what is keeping you stuck. I call it the fear cycle. This is what I talked about in the Lunch and Learn last week, the fear cycle. Now, burnout doesn't always show up in flames, right? Sometimes it's much more subtle. So everyone thinks you're all right, like a duck to water. Everything's cool. You're coasting along, but underneath your little legs are literally flapping away. It shows up as indecision. You can't keep to your decisions, overthinking, maybe forgetting the things that you used to remember, like literally the easiest thing. Disconnection from what really lights you up. You have outgrown your survival-based version of success. I think as a society, it's clear that we've outgrown it. We're all kind of waking up to the realization that how we used to do things just does not work and it is not acceptable anymore. It is time to build wealth and power from wholeness. What even is wholeness? Wholeness is being you at your very core. And who you are at your very core is where you find purpose. Okay? So it really is time to stop avoiding yourself. Avoidance is a massive, massive kind of cloak of protection that we wear when we are in this kind of successful mode. We avoid the things that are going to maybe trip us up. And often it's the things that we need to trip us up, to slow us down, to make us see what's really going on, right? And in the Star Code, when I am teaching this in the Star Code as part of the Star Wealth Training Academy, and it's what I talked about in my Lunch and Learn last week, is I teach 4 pillars, okay? I do teach strategy. I give you the strategy. I show you the therapy, the mind, body, soul therapy, how to create that connection. I raise your awareness of yourself and what's going on in your life and what you really give an absolute crap about and what you don't. And I help to create reconnection, to restore, to rebirth, whatever you want to use, whatever word you want to use to get real with yourself. Okay, we don't just talk numbers in the Star Wealth Training Academy. Okay, I love numbers. Numbers are magic, but we don't just talk numbers. We restore nervous system harmony. Okay, we map your personal wealth plans. We use the roadmap method. I talk about that also in the Lunch and Learn, and it's a big factor of what I teach in the Star Wealth Training Academy. We get clear on your true values, okay? Not just the ones that made you money, not the ones put on you, not the ones that everyone else tells you that you should have, the ones that make you feel truly alive. Okay? Today, in this moment, being alive isn't something you should be in the future, it should be right now. Okay? This is how we shift from burnout to brilliance. Okay? From paralysis to power, from pressure to peace or pleasure, whatever you seek, right? Love like having a mixture of pleasure and peace, right? It is being human that really matters. So if this message has hit home and resonates with you, if you know that you are ready for more, that being stuck in this invisible fog within you is not working, then come inside the Star Wealth Training Academy. It's your next move. The link is in the bio. Book a call with me. Message me, replay, if you want to see the replay from last week. I might share it with you if I'm feeling generous. I am cheeky. Honestly, just get in touch with me. The links are in the show notes. It's not your time to stay stuck. There are so many ways that you can be working on this with me. You know, some of my courses are as little as £8 a month with a whole month free. So don't stay stuck. Just reach out. And as always, please like, subscribe, follow the show. It means the world to me. Namaste.